It was great last night, man. Yeah, what you expect? I mean, the New York Knicks, they were out there, they were doing them. These guys were, representing New York down in the A-Town, in the A-Boogie, where it's supposed to be crazy lit, Magic City and everything. But you know what? My Knicks, they went down there and they shined. They played ball, and I mean, they took out the Atlanta Hawks in their home to close them out 4-2. Sent them home. We took them home, made sure that they got there safely, and now we on the way back to NY. Let's go do it now. Last night, OG Anunoby had 29 points. Karl Anthony Towns had a mean triple-double with 12 points, 11 rebounds, 10 assists. And to think that Jalen Brunson was doing him controlling the game on the floor, also him and Cat, they had great chemistry going on. Great chemistry. Mikal Bridges, everybody was lit. I mean, this squad, Jalen Johnson, even though he had 21 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists, he tried, the young man did. CJ McCollum had no answers. The Knicks had the brakes on him. We were up by 50 points, I believe it was 40 to 50 in the first half. And the Knicks just kept it going. They just broke out the gates, just tearing it apart like fire and brimstone. You know what I mean? Busting down the Atlanta infrastructure inside the building, you know what I mean, of that team. And they just took away the hearts before the second quarter was over. And this New York Knicks team, they done made Atlanta dig this huge hole. And shout out to Coach Quinn, I guess. But, I don't know if that man's going to be still there after a while. Or we don't know what Atlanta's going to be the plans for that man. But we know that he didn't coach them good enough for that team against the Knicks last night. The Knicks definitely sent a clear message to the East Coast and to the Eastern Conference on who they are and what's to happen. And I think that this is very, very, very special. Very special because the Knicks are back on course. They doing their thing. They seemed a little dazed in game 2, but they brought it on back here. This is what they're supposed to be about. They have the team that's built to win, and they have to keep this encouragement going on and do it. After they destroyed these Hawks. They clipped their wings, took them away, shaved the feathers, and was like, stay home. You know what I mean? Shout out to the New York Knicks, man. It's a great win. The rest of the NBA, it was some games on last night. Also, besides this Knicks game, which is very historical. This Knicks game also, mind you, it's only been 5 other games where teams have been blown out like this in NBA history all time in the playoffs. This was a trouncing. The Knicks was up by 60 points at one time. It was amazing, y'all. Great to see. Stephon Marbury was in the house. A couple of other Knicks elite. Walt Clyde Frazier. That's a blessing. That's a good look right there. Very good look. Now, when the Knicks go on to play, predicting that it's going to be Boston, it could be Philadelphia. It doesn't have to be Boston because Philadelphia, they woke up Boston last night with a smashing of themselves, 106-93. Now that Joel Embiid is back, the game is different. So Boston, after they took control in the second quarter, they ran. After Philadelphia took control in the second quarter, they ran with this, man. And Joel Embiid and these dudes, they was ready to go. Jaylen Brown had 18 points. And Pritchard had 5 assists, but Tyrese Maxey was on with 30 points last night. And he had some help from Joel Embiid, who was in there doing what he do. The big man is back. Joel Embiid, he's doing what he does, and that's causing problems for this Celtic squad, which they cannot contain him. Poor George is there. Embiid, 19 and 10 with 8 assists last night. He almost had a triple-double, and poor George doing what he does. That helped add on with 23, and they had a 106-93 win against the Boston Celtics. And that was pretty cool because I knew that if Philadelphia played their game and if there was a chance of Paul George and Joel Embiid being healthy together, that Philadelphia would have enough or something to be able to make noise or at least be recognized instead of getting swept away with a 4-0 as some folks thought that Boston would do. But this right here is special, and I think that this is what was needed. VJ Edgecombe, he had 14 points, 8 rebounds last night to be able to help also go along with Tyrese Maxey's 30 points and 5 assists, because this Philadelphia squad, they was destined to get this, and they're going to keep fighting. I think Philadelphia, it's a chance that they could pull up out of the East instead of Boston also. It doesn't have to be the Boston Celtics, even though we know they're going to give it all that they got, going into this. Jason Tatum only had 17 points, and Jaylen Brown had 18 yesterday. So that gets to show you how much was going down with the Philadelphia 76ers defense and the way that the game was. Minnesota Timberwolves, Julius Randle and these guys, they had too much going on for the Joker and for Jamal Murray last night. They started off pretty close, but the Wolves finished the series 4-2. Yes, sir, they sure did. Even with Anthony Edwards not being there, Jaden McDaniels stepped up with 32 points, while Rudy Gobert with 13 rebounds and 8 assists. The Joker, he almost had a triple-double with 28 points, 9 rebounds, and 10 assists, but it was not good enough. And based on that, I say that that's what had us to be able to watch what went down last night. And Julius Randle played cleanup and took this team to where they had to go to this promised land of the second round here, as Julius Randle was able to go in and drop 18 points and 5 assists in the game last night. So shout to Rudy Gobert with a double-double and almost a triple-double, 10 points, 13 rebounds, and 8 assists. So there you have it, last night's NBA. Today there are going to be some games on. People are trying to see what's going to happen between the Los Angeles Lakers and this other squad that they playing over here that's supposed to be a little more youthful, except for Kevin Durant, the Houston Rockets. The LA Lakers would love to send the Houston Rockets home, spread love, LA should get this with Austin Reeves being back. Maybe he shook the chemistry up that they had going so far with LeBron being the team leader for the series and for the playoffs so far while Luka was out. And there's a chance that Luka could be back for the second round, provided LA do their thing and they get this rest. The Orlando Magic, they have a chance to close it out against the Detroit Pistons tonight at 7 o'clock because Paolo Banchero's back. The last game they just lost where Paolo had 45 and also Kate Cunningham had 45, but the Pistons ran away with the win. So that was a historical NBA game right there. Two guys with 40-plus apiece on opposite teams. Like I said, Ramonda, it wasn't like that since like Iverson and Shaq back then when they played and they went into the finals when Shaq was in L.A. This was, 2001, I believe. But it was a big game, and it's going to get real crazy. Cavs and Raptors today. The Raptors, they could tie the series up 3-3 if they go out there and do what they got to do. Scotty Barnes, we know that he had a little bit of limping going on the last game. But they were playing pretty physical, obviously, and they're going to need this. And we're going to need for him and R.J. Barrett to stay on course and get it done. So shout out to them. I think this is something special. And Toronto, you never know, they can pull up. Now, these guys are ready to go, and this is an interesting series because James Harden and Donovan Mitchell in that backcourt, we know that them guys can be either special or them guys can be less terrestrial. You know what I mean? So let's just go at it and watch this good series. And I think that Toronto can pull up out of this, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.